4 p.m. February 17th, 2017. This new range card, this is something. I'm back from hunting with extremely good results. Like I thought, I was onto something. Now the thing is that I have a hunch that there is a pellet or two in terms of grains of weight for each rifle, depending on the energy that the rifle produces, that you could play with Chairgun Pro kill zone size, or in other words, zero distance, which in that certain zero distance or certain kill zone size, with that particular pellet or a couple of pellets, and that's energy that the gun produces, you could have a range card like this. And by like this, I mean a range card in which for 20 to 30 meters, or whatever range probably that you would like, well, this is what I like, you could have two adjacent similar amounts of holdover or hold under. That simplifies things greatly. And by that I mean, if I'm shooting at something at 0 degrees of angle between 20 to 30 meters, which is pretty much a lot of, like at least, I don't know, maybe 60% of my shots, I don't even really have to look at my range card, and I could focus all my energy on my, trigger and stuff like that. If I'm shooting at something at 30 degrees of angle, I just need to have 3 centimeters of hold under. I think this could be done with, like I said, a pellet or two in terms of grains of weight, depending on the joules of energy that the rifle produces. And this simplifies things a lot, not just because of not really having to glance at your range card on those very critical moments, but also because if you have a little bit of mistakes in shooting, there is not going to be, allow me to turn this off. If you have a little bit of mistake in your shooting, there is not going to be too much of a miss, because if you have a little bit of mistakes in guesstimating the distance, there's not going to be too much of a problem. Like if you don't know really if it is 20 meters or 30 meters even, you still have to hold 2 centimeters of hold under. So if you have any problem guesstimating the distance around here, that is, you're gonna be fine, which makes a great difference, like I experienced today. Now, on top of this, like having 2s here, 3s here, almost 4s here, I think there are 2 things that could be done by further paying further attention to the pellet that you choose, depending on the energy of your rifle. I think there could be 2 things done. One of them would be to have, instead of 2s, 3s, 4s, we could probably have 0s, 1s, 2s, which makes more sense, and it's it's a lot easier to just aim at the target without having to have any holdover or hold unders, at least when you're shooting at 0 degrees of angle. And not to my surprise, that was possible using sniper for this particular rifle instead of using JSB 18s, which I have currently. I tried played with the parameters of Chairgun Pro with Sniper Light 14 grain pellet, and look what I have. at 0 degrees, which is this first line. I have two zeros here for 20 meters and 30 meters. Now, if I'm shooting at 30 degrees of angle, the second line, all I'm gonna have to do would be to have 1 centimeters of hold under. If I'm shooting at 45 degrees, I'd have to have 2 centimeters of hold under, both at 20 and at 30 meters. So again, this simplifies things one step further, which again makes a great deal of difference. I think I'm going to immigrate to H&N Sniper Light pellets, or any other pellet, available pellet of about 14 grains of weight. This is of course one of the best, if not the best, at this weight. So now the second thing I'm trying to see if that would be possible is to extend these adjacent zeros or adjacent ones or adjacent twos horizontally. That is, I'm trying to see if I could like have, instead of 2 zeros here, maybe have 3 zeros here. If not 3 zeros, maybe 3 ones, and then 3 twos, and then 3 threes. That would allow me to like extend the range at which I could shoot without having to have a glance at my range card. That's one thing. And again, another advantage of this would be for me to be allowed to make a bigger mistake in guesstimating the distance. Like if I had like 3 zeros here, or maybe 3 ones here, or even 3 twos here, I could make a mistake of guesstimating whether it is 25 meters, for example, or 35 meters or 40 meters. So that's a lot of room or a big margin of error for making mistakes in guesstimating the distance. So I'm going to work on this now. And the way you do that is you input your data into Chairgun Pro, and then try with like, that's how I do it. Try with a kill zone of about 1 centimeter and go higher and higher and higher to about 2 or maybe 3 centimeters. See how the table comes up. I'm hoping that there is a certain kill zone size or zero distance at which I could have like maybe 3 twos here, or 3 ones, then 3 twos, then 3 threes, and simplify things a lot more. This is what I experienced today in the field. If I could have something like that, it would make a very big difference. Again, in terms of, one, not having to spend those precious moments looking through your range card, and 2, being allowed to make a bigger of a mistake in guesstimating the distance to target. We'll see how it goes. I'm hoping to be able to come up with a certain kill zone size or zero distance with this 14 grain pellet. If not, I'd probably move even further and kind of immigrate to maybe a 12 grain pellet, even though that would be a little too light for this Magnum rifle. But as long as you don't go any higher than 950, about 950 feet per second, I think we would be okay in terms of not seeing discrepancies in the behavior of the pellet mid-air. And of course, again, 12 grain pellets would not be really very healthy pellets for the rifle itself, again, because it's a Magnum rifle and the piston is going to slam to the end of its movement path But you know what? If I get to land my pellets like consistently where I want it to land, it would be fine. I mean, I'm gonna like spend a little more on the gun, or like if this gun were to work for me for about 10 years, then it would work for me for about 7 years. But that would be 7 happy years of hunting very, very well, and that I think would be worth it. Thank you for watching.